Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're talking about why so many people from Washington are choosing to move to Idaho and make that home. Now, for those of you that may not be from Washington, I would still watch this because we're still going to be giving you guys a lot of insight on why people, not just from Washington, but all around in general, are choosing to make Idaho home. So with that being said, let's dive into the content. All right, guys, so welcome to the YouTube channel. I am Nasim Isa. I am the host of the channel, and I am super excited to have you guys here. If you haven't been here before, if this is your first time, we love to know where people are watching from. So if you're from Washington, or maybe you're from a neighboring state or just a state in general, make sure you guys comment below where you're watching from and any questions that you have as you watch this video. If we don't go into something specific, or reach out to me if you have something specific you would like to ask me directly. You'll see my phone number and things of that nature later in the video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Now, with that being said, so Washington is a bordering state of Idaho. Now, I don't think Washington is a terrible place to live. It's only ranked number 29 out of 50 for best places to live. Meanwhile, Idaho is ranked number 4 out of all 50 states as far as best states to live. So there's got to be some major reasons, which we're going to be covering, why Idaho is so much better than Washington and why it's just absolutely attracting everyone and their mother from Washington, California, and all the states, right? So with that being said, Washington is kind of similar to California in a sense as far as some of the things that they're dealing with. Now, cost of living in Washington is significantly higher, whereas Idaho is actually the cheapest cost of living as far as areas in the West goes. So when you're comparing all the states in the West out of all 11 states and you're breaking down the numbers, Idaho does come in ranking number 1. So that's going to be one of the top reasons that a lot of people are living or moving to Idaho, is that cost of living drops significantly. So with that being said, what does that mean for people as far as economy? Well, economy wise, Idaho is very much so booming. We have so much things coming as far as technology, as far as hospital services, as far as manufacturing and retail services. So if you're in any of those career fields and some, there's just a lot of opportunity for you in Idaho, especially if you're coming from Washington, where it's about a 6-7 hour drive just to hit, southwest Boise, where you could hit the capital from Washington. So now when we're comparing things such as how much cheaper is it, well, Washington in the tax capacity is almost twice as expensive. For example, for income taxes, where someone would get taxed only $1,314, in Washington they would be getting taxed $3,500. So there's just a big gap of difference as far as how much money you're able to keep in your pocket. But imagine how much money you're potentially leaving on the table, not just in the cost of living aspect, but also in the real estate aspect. Which, before we get into the real estate side of things, I do want to mention I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Idaho, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would absolutely love to help you with your home buying needs. So if you're relocating from Washington or wherever you're watching this video from, make sure you guys reach out. You're going to see my cell phone pop up. You're going to see my email pop up. Shoot me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Or if you'd like to take it a step further and make sure you have something put on a calendar where it's not as randomized, you can actually see my Calendly is connected in the description below. So make sure you guys go check that out and schedule a 30-minute meeting with me as far as what your real estate goals are as you relocate to Idaho. Now, going back to the content outside of what I do for a living, real estate is a huge factor for a lot of people. Right now in Washington, the median price point in the state is $600,000. Guys, that is a huge margin of difference, because the average cost of real estate in the state of Idaho is $433,000. So we're talking about a $170,000 difference. So whereas maybe you could, afford a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Washington, you would probably be able to afford a 5-bedroom, 3-bath with another 1,000 square feet on top of that in the state of Idaho. So it's such a huge factor, especially in that capacity where you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm taking a small pay cut relocating to Idaho, but I also know that I'm saving, maybe $1,500 a month on a mortgage, or maybe I'm saving another, $3,000 a year on taxes. It's just those little differences start to add up so much quicker, and you start to feel like you have a lot more money, and you're not doing anything illegal. All you did was go somewhere where it's cheaper to live. It's a lot better to live. Sorry to throw any shots at people that really love Washington. I'm a fan of Washington. I just know that there's a lot of crazy stuff happening there right now. And then Idaho in general is just such an amazing environment to be in. So quality of life in Idaho is just really second to none. So when we're sitting here and talking about the differences, well, Washington has Seattle, where it always rains and it glooms and it's sad as hell. Whereas Idaho has 4-season weather, where right now it's sunny, it's just beautiful as can be. And then you also have a, nice and cool spring where it rains occasionally, but not too often. Then you also have the winter season where you can enjoy going snowboarding and skiing and doing all the things, or making snowmen and snow angels in the snow, and it's just tolerable. And then you have an amazing spring season as it starts to warm up, and you just see all the flowers start to bloom and all the awesome things that come with that, right? So just having that 4-season weather is just an awesome amenity for some people. Now, for those of you that may not like the heat or may not like the cold, then that could be something that may take some time to get used to. However, I still think it's a blessing to be able to get all 4 seasons, because you never really know what you can expect, or you never know how much more you can do, simply because of the fact that you have all these 4 seasons throughout the year, all year long. So with that being said, let's come back to another reason that a lot of people are coming from Washington to Idaho, which is going to be the outdoor recreational activities. Now, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, typically I like to stay around the Boise area as far as when we're talking activities and things of that nature. Now, there is a huge demographic as far as people that are into camping and going skiing and going snowboarding, or going and taking their boat out to the lake or to the dams, or just doing things that are outdoor recreational activities in general in all of Idaho. That it's almost weird if you don't like being outdoors and you live in Idaho, because everyone is always outside, whether you're taking a walk, whether you're taking a hike, whether you're out with the family fishing, whatever that case may be. There's just always people, and there's so much to do in that capacity. And with all of that being said, with all those activities and so much more that I'm leaving out, because I literally, if I had a list, it would literally touch the damn ground. But if I had a list and I showed you guys that, you would literally just feel like you could do something different every single day and still have more to do later on, you know, throughout the year. And another really nice thing is, as far as location, everything is really close and nearby. So as far as commute time, you also don't have to worry about the traffic that Washington has, because in Idaho it's not as populated just yet. Now, like I said, people are relocating from all over to Idaho. They found the hidden gem and now everyone's talking about it. But with that being said, we're still super low as far as population goes. Boise, for example, which is the biggest city in Idaho, just broke 200,000 people in population within the city. So that's kind of just for reference, whereas Seattle has almost 750,000 people living in it. So imagine cutting that into a third, and that's all that exists in Boise as far as population goes right now. So with that being said, population, traffic, supply and demand, things of that nature isn't as severe as Washington, which is why it's so much cheaper to live in Idaho, going back to cost of living and real estate. And speaking of real estate, I want to do something for you guys. I want to show you guys kind of what, you know, the real estate side of things looks like here in Idaho. So take a look at some of these amazing homes in the different cities in Idaho. All right, go. So like I said, there's some beautiful homes out here, whether you're looking for just a small kind of starter family home, or you're looking for something luxury or waterfront, whatever it is that you're looking for. Maybe you even want something up in the hills where you overlook the entire city of Boise, which is absolutely stunning. Then maybe you want to look into the foothills in Boise, or maybe you want to look into, some of the suburbs in Boise if you want to kind of be away from people, but not too far away from people. Then you could look in Meridian, Cuna, Nampa, Caldwell, or maybe you're just like, hey, you know what? I want to live rural. I want to kind of be away from all the craziness. I'm tired of living within the city. Maybe that means you want to live in Mountain Home or Middleton, or one of those cities where it's more land and nature rather than city and buildings and high-speed lifestyle, which, to the contrary, Idaho is not in that space or capacity. There's not a lot of people that are just high speed, just go, 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 go in Idaho, which is awesome because it's such a relaxed environment. Most people are very chill. They're very friendly. They love to get out. They always talk to people. Like I said, I think it kind of goes hand in hand. There's reasonings why there's low crime rates in Idaho versus, Washington. You're not going to see needles. You're not going to see drugs all over the place in Idaho. It's just not common. So with that capacity, it's just very, very simple to adapt to this and see why there's such a higher quality of life in the state of Idaho versus, the state of Washington, where you just got so much going on and so much craziness happening. So with that being said, there is still a lack of certain things in Idaho, which I think to a certain extent is where Washington kind of shines, but it's because we haven't really diversified Idaho just as much, right? So there's not a lot of different things to do just yet. There's still kind of slacking as far as, what there is to do outside of being outside all the time, right? So we're starting to see a lot more, entertainment or just areas that you can go enjoy. For example, now they have a bunch of trampoline park stores. Now they have Top Golf. They have all these amazing golf warehouses and things like that are starting to pop up and just offer, the people in Idaho a lot more, which is so, so important, which is absolutely awesome to see. To add on all the entertainment as far as even being able to go out and enjoy, dining and all the new restaurants. For example, one of the restaurants that they just brought, which it's fast food, I know, so don't go too crazy on me in the comments, but they did just open the first ever In-N-Out in the state of Idaho, in Meridian, which is one of the cities that surround Boise. And just little things like that, right? Just little things that keep coming, growing out here and just being pushed out here is just bringing and expanding a lot more of what Idaho has to offer in general. So in that capacity, as we continue to grow, more things are coming to Idaho that a lot of people are super excited about. For example, there's a big mall, right? They call it the Village, and that's located in Meridian, Idaho, which, like I said, it's a suburb of Boise. But for those of you that like outlets or maybe going shopping and things of that nature, they have that here. Not only did everyone love it so much that it just became one of the most popular spots in the area to shop, they're also building another one, which is pretty much going to be on steroids, right? The Village on steroids, called the Super Village, which is going to be significantly bigger, offer significantly more, all the different outlets, all the different restaurants, all the different dining. Is just continuously expanding as far as what it has to offer people in Idaho, which is awesome. So for those of you that don't know what Idaho has to offer or haven't been able to check out Idaho, I hope this has been pretty good as far as providing some value in what it does have to offer in that capacity. And I also want to share with you guys some visual content so you guys can get an idea of what the environment of Idaho looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some more clips for you guys, not of houses this time, but just of the cities, of what you can see as far as the downtown, some of the village footage, and some of all that good stuff for you guys to check out. So with that being said, let's check it out. All right, guys, so like I said, Idaho is absolutely beautiful. People just take so much pride in keeping the state clean in general. They just love living here, and they just want to make sure they take care of where they live, which for me personally, that's super uncommon until I got here to Idaho. So with that being said, guys, we're going to wrap it up. But before I let you guys go, make sure you guys press the subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video. And one more time, I do want to reiterate, I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Idaho, and I would love to help you guys with your home buying needs. And before you guys reach out to me, I also need you to do me another huge favor, which is tap that notifications button so you get notified of more videos just like this. And with that being said, guys, I hope I provided you guys a lot of value. And if you didn't have something answered that you would like more information on, make sure you guys leave it in the comments so I can get to you as soon as possible. Love y'all. See you on the next video.